What is up, Pokemoshpitbeta? My name is FatalFatalities, but you guys can call me Fatal. I've been uploading for about a couple months now, 3 or 4 months. That's more than a couple, but whatever. I have an NU match for you today, and this tier is not my forte, but I really actually enjoy this tier a lot just because of the customization. It's a little bit more freelance than OU and UU, and I really enjoyed it a lot. First thing, just right off the bat, it's a little bit of a longer battle, so pause this stuff. Go get yourself a sandwich, get yourself a drink, sit back down. We'll be in this for the long haul. Second thing I want to mention is that this team was made to just make fun of one of my friends, so all the Pokemon are named the exact same thing, and I didn't feel like changing them in between battles. And this is actually a battle against a guy called BlackLightAttack, and he's a pretty good YouTuber. Previous to this match, I had just barely watched his videos, and he is known for running some very awkward sets. Not awkward, but just weird. Not awkward at all. But anyway, I'm gonna lead off with my Ninjask, and most people just think, oh, okay, we'll substitute baton pass, sword stance, whatever. Those kind of shenanigans that everyone hates. But I'm actually choice banded, and I hard switch out there just because Lipards like to carry Thunder Wave and Taunt and all that. I didn't want to get T-Wave, that'd be very unfavorable. So I end up going into Natu to block that. He ends up just going for Encore, which is fine. And then I make the U-turn out. It surprisingly breaks his sub. And then I go back out to Ninjask, and then his camera up comes in as I go for another U-turn. So you can already tell that I enjoy this team just because it gives me a lot of switch advantage. Natu and Ninjask with U-turn. Zebstrika with Volt Switch, as you saw in the team preview. But it came up out here, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out into my Golduck. This is a mixed Golduck with Hone Claws, Blizzard, and Hydro Pump. And right here, I thought that he'd probably want to switch out into Simisage or Meganium to take a hit, so I ended up going for Blizzard. It does do a nice chunk, but I think what went on in his mind is that he knew that I was thinking that, so maybe I'd want to switch out into Ninjask to combat those two Pokemon and then go for the Lava Plume to get some extra damage. But I really had no reason to switch. But then again, no one really knows each other's set because NU is just so, it's so free, You can pretty much customize anything you want. So I'm gonna go into my Natu as he actually brings out Tentacool. And the reason I brought out Natu is because maybe you'd want to set up Stealth Rocks and I can bounce those back. That doesn't end up happening. He's just gonna go out to his Tentacool, which is fine. He ends up going for Scald, gets a burn, not too big of a deal. I'm gonna go out into Zebstrika here, and I make the safe play, and I predicted him to go back out into Camerupt to absorb my Volt Switch because he is part ground type. And I go back out into Golduck, and I'm definitely not going to over-predict here. I'm just going to go straight for that Hydro Pump. I really don't want him setting up hazards at all, which is also why I carry Natu, because I don't carry my own hazards. I don't carry a Rapid Spinner. It's very crucial that I stop him from setting up hazards as soon as possible. He's going to end up going into a Simisage, and this Hydro Pump does a very nice chunk. And I'm really surprised that everything I'm using is connecting. I'm getting very lucky in this battle, as you can see. So I'm going to go back out into Natu, predicting, I don't know, it's like scouting fodder, really, because I don't know what's going to happen. Turns out he's physical, turns out he has acrobatics, so he wastes his flying jump right there. He ends up going for Hone Claws, which was a little weird. I didn't know why he didn't just kill me off. Maybe he thought I'd switch out. I do switch out, but I go for U-turn, so I get off a little bit of damage. As much as I wanted this U-turn to kill, definitely doesn't because, Natu has pitiful attack and whatnot. But I'm going to go to Ninjask. These things can't learn Sucker Punch, they can't learn any priority, so I'm completely safe to go for a U-turn and knock this thing out. Ninjask having the amazing speed stat that it does, will be able to outspeed pretty much everything. Even though I'm not invested in it, I am more invested in attack and HP actually, but I do have enough speed to outspeed certain things like Zebstrika and whatnot. So I'm going to go into my Natu actually as death fodder, or so that I can get switch advantage. And he ends up going into Haunter, which is actually Choice Scarfed, which threw me off guard by a long shot. I was like, what the heck? But because of my HP investment that I just mentioned very fast, I'm able to live this and hit him with a Night Slash. So things are looking pretty good for me, and he's going to go back out into his camera, and I was really hoping that this Night Slash would be able to take him out. But, of course, things just live with smidgens and really annoying. And, he just goes for the Stealth Rocks. So now I'm not able to switch out Ninjask. There's nothing I can do about it. Natu's dead. I don't have any Rapid Spinners, as I previously mentioned. And I'm just going to have to leave this Ninjask in here to slash things in the face, I guess, and that's about it. take that thing out with another Night Slash, and now I'm at +2 speed, I believe. It doesn't really matter, because Ninjask can outspeed everything anyway. He's going to go into his Liepard, and I expected this we both actually expected this Night Slash to do more than it did, just because Natu was able to break Liepard sub with U-turn, but it actually doesn't do that much. So, he's able to take me out with Foul Play. So, this thing's set. All I know right now is Substitute, Foul Play, and Encore. I'm really doubting he has Sucker Punch at this point in the game. So now that Camerupt, is Camerupt dead? Or is he not dead? No, he's dead. Just kidding. Brain fart, sorry. I'm now able to safely Volt Switch whenever I want. And that's exactly what I do. I didn't want to overpredict, so I just go for that Volt Switch. And I go out into Coughing, not really having anything else I want to go out into. Now, for some of you, you might just be like, oh, why aren't you using Wheezing? Herp derp. I don't know. Never used the Coughing. I've never seen anyone use the Coughing. It's kind of cool, not gonna lie. So I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp, and I end up missing, which kind of bites me in the ass later, as you will see, but it doesn't matter too much in the end. I'm going to switch out and go into my Zipstrike, knowing that he's probably going to want to set up Toxic Spikes, and I'm just kind of like, oh, aim before Toxic Spikes, maybe threaten him out, I don't know. I make a huge overprediction here and go for the Overheat. Oh, so bad, so bad, so bad. It is horrible damage. Honestly, I should have figured that he was going to do this because he wants those 2 layers of Toxic Spikes up so that my Regigigas will be badly poisoned along with everything else on my team. And this is the one time I really wish that Coughing didn't have Levitate, and because it does have Levitate, it's not touching the ground, it doesn't absorb Toxic Spikes, which is horrible, but whatever. So, he's going to go into his Liepard, and now I sped this part up a little bit because it's not really stally, but it's a little bit weird. So he's going to go for Substitute, and I'm just going to go for Will-O-Wisp. Substitute blocks Will-O-Wisp, so that works out in his favor. So things are going to get a little bit weird here, which is why I sped it up. He's going to go for Swagger, so that's his last move. So he's mono-attacking with Swagger and Foul Play. That's actually pretty cool, if not even going to lie. I'm going to go for Clear Smog. Now, that's usually supposed to reset all your stats, but because he's behind a sub, it's not. So I'm just kind of sitting here going for Clear Smog as he keeps going for Swagger, and I actually never hit myself in Confusion once, which was very lucky on my part. I got very lucky during this match. But you can't always control RNG, so, you know, whatever. I'm just going to keep going for Clear Smog until I break his subs. And what this Coughing set is, it's just max defense with max HP, Pain Split, Will-O-Wisp, Clear Smog, and one move that I'll tell you about in a minute. I really didn't have anything else to put into this move slot, and I was like, alright. Sorry if the audio got kind of weird. I just hit a button, or I hit the little lever on the thing. But the last move in my move pool is actually Payback. I could have put Gyro Ball, could have put Explosion. I was like, you know what, Payback. Why not? Ends up working in my favor. So I'm technically at +4 because I never reset my stats with Clear Smog. So, oh, doesn't kill me. Live with a Smidgen. Oh, Smidgens are a bitch, aren't they? And guess what? Coughing gets a kill. You don't see that every day, do you? No, you don't. So Coughing is just like, hell yeah, just got a kill. I can die happy now. And die happy he does as Meganium comes in and sucks the eternal life out of him, and he dies. And he was able to regain a whole, like, 3 HP. So, I applaud you, sir. Good job, Coughing. You were a total badass in this game. So, now I'm going to switch on to Zebstrika, and I'm going to go for the Volt Switch, and I want him to think... I'm kind of like scouting, so that the next time I bring Zebstrika in, that he'll think that I'm just going to go for the Overheat and do whatever, and then he'll switch into Tentacle. And then we'll just see what happens when we get to that point in the match. But I'm going to bring in Regigigas, and this is the other point in the match that is a little bit weird. It's not stally at all. Some things happen, and I don't really accomplish anything by going into Regigigas, really, but yeah, you'll just see. So, I get Toxic Poison, which is bad. This is my specially defensive wall. Not kind of like a wall, but it doesn't have any form of reliable recovery besides Drain Punch, but because of slow start, it's basically like having like a handicap on you. You feel like a retard when you have a slow starting Regigigas, because these Drain Punches are just not doing a lot. I mean, that literally did like 10 damage. So I will then regain like 5 health, and then Toxic damage will just keep racking up and whatnot. So I did paralyze him. That's one thing I managed to do. And I'm just going to go for that sexual frustration, because Regigigas is so confused about his genders and all that. And he's going to be able to take out my sub just in time for Toxic damage to take me out. So that's great, isn't it? So I was able to get off a smidgen of damage on Meganium and paralyze it. And that's about all I accomplished there with Regigigas. What a waste of time. So, now, I knew that he'd switch out into Tentacle here. I knew he would. So guess what? Predicted. Hell yeah. This is like the only good prediction I made the entire game. And as you see, if he would have been Will-O-Wisp, a couple turns of burn damage probably would have been able to take him out along with this Thunderbolt, but because it missed, it ended up biting me in the ass, but you know, whatever. So I have Golduck and Zebstrika versus this Tentacle and a Meganium. It's not very favorable. It's not looking very good for me, but I know he's going to switch out here back into Meganium, so this is why I double switch back into Golduck. Because I know he can't take any more than 1 or 2 Hydro Pump or Blizzards from my Golduck. You never actually see me use Cross Chop with this thing either, which is unfortunate, but whatever. So I go for the Blizzard. It thankfully connects, so thank God for that. It's able to hit him, and it does a huge chunk, like way more than I ever expected. I did not expect it to kill. I expected that to do like maybe 50, 75%, like around there. It does like a good like 80, 90%. And he's going to be able to take me out with a Worthless Crit. Worthless Crit Giga Drain, get back some souls, but not really so much souls as he would probably prefer. And now this thing's at a range of health where I will be able to take out with an Overheat. And the unfortunate thing for him is that his Tentacle is just not at a range of health where he can take multiple Overheats. So, Choice Specs Zebstrika. I'm gonna go for that Overheat. Guess what? Those damn smidgens, man. I'm telling you, it's freaking horrible. So, toxic damage is a little bit racking up, and it's honestly kind of nerve-wracking at this point, because this is my last Pokemon, and I don't know if a -3 Overheat can take out a Meganium. I say -3 because I am Choice Spec, so therefore it gives me +1. So, sitting at 39 health. Toxic damage will take me out next turn if I do not manage to kill this thing. So we're just going to see what happens. And, to my surprise, it takes him out. That was a very good game. I really enjoyed playing this game with BlackLightAttack. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. Both of our links will be in the description. Feel free to check us out if you want. You know, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. My name is Fatal, and I will probably upload again if you guys enjoyed this. So, peace out. Have a good day.